As Sun Tzu once said,
Gotcha, bitch.
his book, The Art of Cheese, skill issue. Lol. But the cheese wasn't
Direct quote, skill issue.
done yet.
Lol.
One of our courses.
Hey guys, welcome back. A lot of you have suggested I react to the Grim KLEAPER, so today we're reacting to Breaking the Geneva Convention in Total Warhammer 3.
Chemical warfare, ignoring the Geneva Convention, and putting a whole new meaning to the term friendly fire.
Oh my God.
Because today in Total Warhammer 3, we'll be drowning the world in rats by keeping a level head, befriending our neighbors, and being an overall menace to society. What
Nice.
couldn't we accomplish? With the release of Immortal Empires, Total Warhammer now has a massive new map combining 3 different campaigns into one, and with it, some interesting new mechanics. Naturally, it was only fitting that we play as the best faction. For those of you who don't know who the Skaven are,
Skaven.
2 words. Many rat. Our starting
Fuck, really? Many rats?
leader was Icket Claw, a very sane and stable individual. In the options,
He seems nice.
I enabled something called Ultimate Crisis Mode, which takes the endgame and tweaks some things, so I'll explain it a bit more later. Starting the game, our main settlement was Skavenblight, the breathtaking and luxurious capital of all rat.
That name sounds like it has, like, fuck. The name Skavenblight sounds like that town has like a plague because of like all of the rats. That's what I'm thinking.
The map we were on was the Immortal Empires map, which is insanely large with about 278 factions.
Oh
of which
my
we were
god, wait, holy shit. That map is insane.
of which we were gonna break. But first we needed to secure land, starting with the settlement next to us. Despite Warhammer being mostly medieval, Skaven have many guns. As a bunch of rat people, not
my
only
God,
have
they're
our
so
units
gross.
not touched grass, they don't know what grass is. Our front line is weak. Our heroes walking toothpicks.
Oh my
and
God.
our morale isn't real. But
Oh
we
my
do have one
God.
major strength. Above all else, Skaven are cheap. So cheap, in
Hell
fact, that
yeah.
the lives of my infantry are worth slightly less than my bullets. I like how we've already
Oh my god. Oh my god, you just have like hordes of rats and you're like, yeah, we could just like take half of them out. Who gives a shit?
the battle, and I am still friendly firing my own units. With the fight ended,
Why? Wait, why were you friendly firing?
we gained our second settlement. On the campaign map, we could construct and upgrade buildings to train higher level Skaven, troops that were basically still bad. Icket Claw also leveled up, so he started to train his campaign skills. Icket also has a special mechanic called the Forbidden Workshop, which lets us upgrade our various weapon teams and build doom rockets. As the name suggests, they're tools for world peace. Our first upgrade was for our rattling guns, which is a minor change.
The rattling guns. Nice.
That gives them infinite ammo. We walked over to the capital of our Empire enemies, but the garrison was too large to fight, so I backed up.
I was gonna say, I love that he has this chill, like, tavern music, and he's just like, yeah, we got the rattling guns, we're friendly firing ourselves, it's all good.
After ending the turn and cycling through all 200 AI factions, the enemy army attacked us outside the city. Because we were fighting in a choke point map, we clogged both entrances with an indomitable wall. Skaven slaves. With the enemy army blobbed up, I decided to test our weapons. Despite mowing down the rest of them and winning the battle, we took 722 losses.
Oh,
Gee, I wonder
shit.
why. With the army
I feel like this is not going well at all. What is happening? What's the strategy here?
defeated, we moved on to their capital and began to siege it down. While the siege continued, we had another important scheme being set up. I'd moved a warlock engineer all the ways up to the Wood Elf cities to use a special ability, expanding the Under Empire. This essentially establishes a city under a city. We can
Ooh.
build various things in our under cities too, but most importantly, steal money and build subterranean dirty bombs. Yeah, no.
Wait, that is like so cool. You could just build a city under a city and then steal the city like on top of you's like money. I like this game. I need to play it.
Too. But first, we need to keep expanding above ground, so we took that capital city, eliminating our only enemy. No.
The fuck is that?
For some reason, people think we're some kind of threat to society. Officer, I wasn't doing anything illegal, it was just a Breaking Bad reference. By expanding the Under Empire, people would
What?
get unhappy. And not just people, this guy's a tree. Plus, some Undercity buildings automatically expand to other settlements, so pretty much everyone would hate us. Back to being above ground, we moved over to colonize the ruined settlement, but apparently a Beastman herdstone prevented me from doing it. Surely going to war with
What the fuck is a Beastman herdstone? Wait, is that like a monster? Is that like a mountain or I literally don't know what the fuck is going on.
one more person couldn't hurt. Attacking the settlement allowed us to show off our warp grinders. By causing minor ecological damage, we could immobilize all nearby enemy units. We occupied the settlement and ended the turn. And a message from the Fae of Bretonnia. I wonder what that's about.
I'm gonna be one of the Brentonians when I play this because they are the cutest.
And this guy too, I don't even know who you are. We
Wait, is he a Brentonian too?
colonized one of the ruins, continue upgrading our settlements, and the beastmen were back. I am scared. But I guess the AI wasn't, because instead of fighting back, they literally just sat there while eating bullets. Do you ever look at someone and wonder what is
Jesus,
going
wait, why? Why aren't they doing anything? Are they just like cooked, fam?
on in their head?
Nothing.
Despite
oh,
our
God.
advantage, they tore through our front line. Well, I tore through our front line. We mopped
Yeah.
up the rest of the beastmen, and before long, it was just one left. Their leader, Morger. But of course, we had bullets, so he didn't stand a chance, is what I thought. Morger has health regeneration, meaning he just sat there and tanked several thousand bullets. It could claw. Routed.
Damn.
All my infantry ran away.
There's always some kind of character in these Total Warhammer videos that's just tanking bullets and like nothing can kill them.
And my rattling guns kited him for 30 minutes straight. I have a question. Why, God? Even after the fight, we couldn't catch Morger, so he lived to inconvenience me another day. But at least now we had a break for one turn. Orion's army attacked one of our cities,
Oh,
and while we
shit.
couldn't win, we could deal damage. When defending settlements, we get insanely busted towers, which goes in line with throwing fodder at our enemy. 200 dead elves later, Orion sacked the settlement and ran away. He also attacked Ikit in a fight
Oh my
that favored us.
God.
Orion's army was fairly weak when we approached, and Orion, as one of the tankiest characters in the game, died immediately.
Oh my
After
God.
the fight, we started to upgrade our capital, and with it, we worked towards the pinnacle of Skaven weaponry, the wonderful beauty of chemical warfare. Before we could violate international safety laws, we had a bigger problem. One covered in leaves, wood, and was basically a 30-foot tall tree. Durthu had decided to wander over and Fus Roda for the trees.
Oh
and right behind
shit,
him,
wait.
amazing.
What do you mean he's Fusro dying the trees? It's like, does that mean he's like knocking over the trees? Yeah, that's what Fusro does. I remember.
Another lord and trained more rattling gunners. After Durthu occupied a settlement, we attacked with our combined armies. Hello, giant tree man. With Durthu destroyed, we turned to deal with Morger, if I could find him. Beastmen
fuck?
armies hide by default, so another siege. Somehow, our paperweight garrison almost won, until some
Paperweight garrison.
dogs ran to the back, captured the victory point, and we lost. I'm sure my settlements love getting burned to the ground every other day. On the bright side, we'd made an ally, Aranessa Zaltspite, who was basically an
Is that a fucking pirate? Like, what is happening? Oh yeah, he is Pirates of Sartosa, Vampire Coast. Oh, there's a Vampire Coast this game? I should live there.
dead pirate queen. Somehow, she'd girl bossed her way into burning down the Wood of Forests, so
Sounds like something I would do. I think I would like fit in there really well.
she was helpful. Going forward a bit, we recolonized all of our ruined settlements, made contact with the chaos demons in the north, and
Ew.
discovered the Shrine of Cain. On the map, there exists an item called the Sword of Cain. Basically, it turns someone into a murderous psychopath, so we're unaffected. If
So he has the Sword of Cain, I'm guessing, because I think he is a murderous psychopath. I mean, with a name like the Grim Cleaper, like, come on.
we had it, we turned Ikit Claw into essentially a god. It would also put us at war with pretty much everyone. So again, business as usual. Our second army got intercepted by the Beastmen, and after retreating, oh, hello, Durthu. Wait, why are the Beastmen your reinforcements? Both of you are at war. To deal with Morger, bribery. As for Durthu, he kinda just moonwalked away. Yeah, that's
Ooh.
not concerning at all. But after everything was said and done, we'd finally secured our peninsula. Unfortunately, it came at the cost of something valuable. The itsy-bitsy unimportant ability to eat. Now, Skaven society is a lot like Soviet society. There is no food. Each settlement, undercity, and
Oh
army
god. So they're just gonna eat each other?
consumes food every turn, and we had zero. To get food, we could build certain structures or find another solution. Hello, city full of peasants.
Oh, okay. Well, at least they're not like eating each other. Like they're just gonna eat like other cities. I mean, you know what? That I can get behind.
With a foothold in Castle French name, we continued through our research tree, built walls in our other settlements, and got a quest for Ikit's unique weapon, Storm Demon. So to get it, we had to go through a quest battle, which didn't look too bad, right?
Ikit has the biggest brain of all rap.
I don't know if that's saying that much, to be honest.
All right, that's all I needed to hear. The quest battle was against the Lizardmen, who have high health infantry.
God, there's lizard men in Total Warhammer 3 too. Like every single like magical creature you can think of, they fucking got it.
And monsters. In terms of infantry, we had Poison Wind Globadiers, which damage everything they hit. They're also the reason why my front line is dead. Our Rattling Gunners could deal with most of their monsters. Case in point. I also forgot to mention that we picked up these extremely elite Council Guard, which
Hell
are
yeah.
essentially our best infantry in the game. Hence why we are shooting them in the back. As we dealt with the first army, a second one came in too. This one entirely made up of monsters and dinosaurs. We finished off the initial army, got hit by an orbital sunbeam, kind of bad, and the Ripperdactyls.
Wait, who like shot the orbital sunbeam at him? Wait, what? Was this just like a spontaneous thing that like just happened, or does the other side have the power to control the fucking sun? What?
Kind of bad. And the Ripperdactyls reenacted a prehistoric Pearl
Wait, now there's dinosaurs. What the fuck?
Harbor. But with the monsters, it was still close. Our infantry were like grass, being mowed by bigger grass. And we had to kite the lizardmen back with our Rattling guns. Through the power of the NRA, willful ignorance, and running away from our problems like it was 2020, we barely came out on top. So in winning the battle, we took 830 casualties. But if you do the math, the enemy only got 370 kills. Oh no. With the battle won, we got access to Ikit's Storm Demon weapon. The global obedience bonus was nice because towards the end of the game, things get hectic. By enabling Ultimate Crisis mode, we'd be fighting against ridiculous odds later in the game. Right after the battle, 2 Bretonnian armies showed up and started sieging our castle. Luckily, we leveled it.
Exactly. I feel like the Bretonnians are actually the most like OP, and that's like what I'm gonna be. Oh, I don't know. I might have to be a vampire pirate since I know that that's an option too.
Pick it up to have lightning strike, which means he can lock reinforcements out of battles when attacking. So we could 1v1 any army. The masses of unwashed peasants were led by the Fey Enchantress.
Like, this is literally me right now. Like, when I play this, like, expect me to be this, like, hot Fey Enchantress on a fucking unicorn. Like, I identify as this person.
Just riding a meth addict Bojack Horseman. Meanwhile, Ikit casually rode a giant electric hamster wheel.
Yes.
I was initially worried about their Grail Guardians, who are one of the most elite cavalry in the game. Or should I say, were the most elite. But isn't using poison gas against peasants kinda overkill? Well, according to my Magic 8-Ball, try again later. By winning the battle, we got a unique trait for Ikit. We also unlocked the Avalanche Mortars, which are kinda nuts. A legendary Wood Elf hero also showed up. A practical demigod, Ariel was one of the most powerful creatures in existence. And now, with the help of one sneaky
Slay, bitch.
rat, dead. We attacked the remnants of the Bretonnian army and ambushed them too. Now, how long do you think this whole fight will last? If you guessed 27 seconds, you'd be off by 1 second. Bretonnia got 0 kills, and we lost 75.
No, I thought she was gonna like win everything. I'm secretly like rooting for her and not for these fucking rats. Sorry, Grim Cleaper.
5 people. That's fantastic. Well, all of this had been
Well, I guess that just worked out for him.
going on. We've been expanding
Oh, and a new Undercity. These fucking rats and their fucking Undercities, I swear to God.
the Under Empire. My warlock engineer had taken a slight detour and established a city under the Dark Elf capital. We also had one under the High Elf capital and every Wood Elf city. If you couldn't tell, elves don't really like us. Like Ariel, who is back to being a mild inconvenience. It was becoming clear that we'd have to deal with the Wood Elves before expanding further north. In order to eliminate the Wood Elves, we need to raise or occupy every city in Athelloren. I occupied both bordering Bretonnian cities above us to have a staging ground. We fought the Fey Enchantress, again, upgraded the defense.
Wait, why? Did she come back? Like, what the? Wait, what is this? I don't know. Wait, I'm confused.
This is on our main peninsula and re-recruited a second army. This one will be filled with entirely infantry to supplement Ikit's army. Now, Wood Elves are generally isolationists, so they rarely leave their lands. That is, except for Durthu. Our second army was back in Skavenblight, so we needed to sally out and fight 3 massive Wood Elf armies. Army 1, Army 2, and Army 3. Meaning, once again, we'd have to fight this future desk. Outnumbering them 3-1, we started the battle, and before long... Ouch. Durthu was taking no sass. Our Retling gunners had to keep kiting backwards, and after only 5 minutes, we'd taken 1,000 casualties. Still, we had
That's not
insane
good.
numbers, so we gathered Durthu while he was bogged down and prepared to handle the Second Army. And handle, we did. We rallied our infantry and sent them into the meat grinder. As they say, if you're not dying, you're not trying. Despite most of the elf units being ranged, it's hard to compete with infinite ammo miniguns and corrosive poison. We routed the remaining elves and won the battle. With both armies
Hell
gone,
yeah. Fuck those elves, I guess.
it left Durthu's only city open, so we sacked it for 15k, then came back a turn later and raised it. Wood Elf settlements are undesirable for Skaven, which translates to massive debuffs if we claim them, making the Elf War much harder. What was helpful was getting our first Plague Priest who can summon more rats during battles. And with our strategy, it would get kind of broken. Because we'd
Yeah.
also gotten access to one of our most powerful units, Poisoned Wind Mortars. Now let's talk about something close to
shit.
all of our hearts, the Geneva Convention. You might be interested to know that the convention doesn't actually talk about chemical weapons. See, that's actually a
Wait, it doesn't? I thought it did. Okay.
separate document called the Geneva Protocol, where it states that nations
okay.
can't use all that cool fun stuff in war. But what it doesn't prohibit is the manufacturing, storage, and commercial use of chemical weapons. Therefore, if
Wait, it literally doesn't? That's fucking crazy. I never knew that.
I fire off my mortar loaded with skin-eating toxins during an investor showcase, and it just so happens to land in the middle of a bunch of peasants, have
Oh my
I
God.
really did anything wrong? If anything, it's their fault for standing within 10 miles of me. Poison wind mortars are essentially
Oh
our
my
best
God.
anti-infantry unit, because they deal flat poison damage to all units, whether they hit
Holy
elite
shit.
infantry or Skaven slaves, we don't care. Which is especially relevant for our fight against the Wood Elves and their high-tier units. And on that topic, Orion was
Oh.
back. While he sat
Oh,
on
I
the
love this. This is like this tactic's gonna work out. This is good.
edge of our land, we took another Bretonia settlement, got a trade agreement from a savvy investor, and much like NSFW Twitter, watched the Beastmen get clapped. We also got an event with the leader of our second army, leading to him getting badly mutated, which is apparently a massive combat bonus. How that makes
Wait, what the fuck? Getting badly mutated? Hit points plus 20%? Melee attack plus 5? Weapon strength plus 10? Passive ability frenzy? How do you get badly mutated and then everything just gets better? Okay, I guess I found like an exploit of this game. Get badly mutated.
How that makes sense, I don't want to know. To our right was Sartosa, a faction of undead pirates. We allied them and started a building
Yeah,
out,
that's literally me, the undead pirates.
which would allow us to recruit their units. After sieging a few more Bretonian cities, the Fey Enchantress attacked one last time. The fight...
Wait, didn't he kill her like twice already? Like, why is she back? Or is that just like a part of the lore? Like, they can't die or something? Like, let me know. I'm once again asking you guys in the comments to help me figure out what's going on in the video I'm watching.
was 10 minutes of this. Winning meant that the Fae's faction was gone for good, not like that stopped another Bretonian faction from continuing the war. And Lewin's army was, completely terrifying, so we ignored it. Besides that, our expansion was going well,
Okay.
but one problem. See everyone with a red outline around their icon? That means they hate us. See all the people without a red outline? Yeah,
friends?
neither do I. While we doubled
Oh.
our land, we were also in for a rude awakening, starting with the Wood Elves. At this point, we were at war with just about everyone. Sartosa was useless, and Grom the Paunch kept trying to make military alliances with me. Full disclaimer, he has one city. The Dark Elves didn't hate us too much, but every High Elf had declared war on us. So priority number 1, erase the Wood Elves. Orion, dead. Rebellion, dead. Ariel just chilling in some dead. We also intercepted an army and fought them in the woods. Seeing as they were outnumbered 5 to 1, we almost lost. I fortified our Wood Elf Under Empire, giving all units in the area vanguard deployment. So in sieging their city, we could deploy all our units right on top of them. 5 seconds into starting the battle, and turns out mortars are pretty decent. We advanced into the
Nice.
city, had our
Yeah, those mortars seem like really OP. Like, if I play this game, okay, I should say when I play this game, I want to do something like this.
reinforcements come in and caught the AI bugging out on a barricade. You know, when you say line up against the wall, you don't actually expect them to do it. Running away didn't help either. Probably hurt, actually. And with the battle won, we'd successfully taken Orion's capital. While we were
Hell
doing
yeah.
that, we built up our Plague Priest capacity, which would give Ikit's army more clan rat summons. Sartosa also wanted us to join a war
Nice.
against the Tomb Kings. And as their stalwart military ally, no. Back to Athelorn, right in the center is the Oak of Ages. It's kind of like that tree in Avatar with the blue hippies. Long story short, we cut it down. Another Wood Elf city later, and we
Yeah, fuck that tree.
Why you bully me?
taken half of Athelorn. Unfortunately, it opened us up to more attackers, like
I am supreme.
Okay.
What the fuck is that?
Not even one turn later, an Empire army. Luckily, they
Oh my
walked
God.
straight into an ambush, and 68 seconds of
nice.
fighting later, gone.
Oh my God, an ambush of like rats with rattling guns and those like mortars. I think that's my like actual nightmare. Like this video is nightmare fuel.
Of course, right after, another ambush with similar results. If you couldn't tell by this point, we're going to be doing a lot of ambushes. Skaven by default can ambush any army they attack, and by leveling a certain skill, we ambush almost 100% of the time. At last, we siege the
Damn, that is like an OP thing. You could just like ambush anyone you attack. I guess because you're like a big horde of like rats or something. Good for them.
on a Wood Elf city, but now with some extra help. Our Plague Priest had gotten a Plague Furnace, which on top of just
Damn, look at that thing. Holy shit.
being pretty scary and
my
morally
God.
questionable,
Billowing
actively
death.
damages all enemies around it. But even now, our Death Ball wasn't in its final form. That being said, the
not?
siege wasn't particularly crazy. It was really just a lot of... With Waterfall Palace occupied, we now controlled all of Athel Lauren. Moving ahead a little, we eliminated another Bretonnia faction, laughed in Grom's face again, and finally established relations with Arkan the Black. Considering my only friends are either undead pirates or undead Egyptians, my social credit score was not looking good. Speaking of social credit, I went ahead and checked who the most powerful faction by strength rank was. Turns out it was China. I said China. Now while our army was looking serious.
Wait, sorry, delayed reaction on that, but that was actually like the funniest thing.
Seriously powerful right about now, it also couldn't be everywhere at once. So while we took 1, 2, 3 more Bretonnian settlements, our armies were stretched thin. Still, I recruited 2 more Plague Priests to add to Ikit's army, because later in the game we need an even better army to deal with Ultimate Crisis mode. We sacked more of Bretonnia, iced some random High Elves, and recruited a 4th army, filling it with stuff. After occupying one of Bretonnia's last cities, they made a desperate attack to get a settlement back. Now, my garrison is hot garbage. King Lewin can beat all of them on his own. Sorta. So getting into the battle, we built some towers and defenses. Lewin's army was small, so we pelted down his infantry and accompanying heroes. Now here's the real problem. Big Boy. We couldn't actually damage him
Who's
because he
that?
has health regeneration. So instead, I let him rout my units and chase them off. See, flying units can't be alone. If they don't land to fight, they'll eventually forfeit the battle. So Lewin beating my units
Oh, nice. Okay. He can't land, so he's gotta leave. Nice. I love the strategy.
is cool and all, but what about these guys? By hiding on the other side of the map, Lewin could not physically get to us before the air unit penalty kicked in, causing him to have a midlife crisis and die of a stroke. As Sun Tzu once said
Gotcha, bitch.
in his book, The Art of Cheese, skill issue. Lol. But the cheese wasn't
Direct quote, skill issue.
done yet.
Lol.
One of our core settlements was being sieged by High Elves. Good thing we had that 4th army. Oh my god. Calling that an army was an insult to the military-industrial complex. It was bad. And now fighting a legendary lord, Eltharion the Grim. The plan was simple. By running some spiky hamster wheels into the middle of their army, I banked on one thing, which worked. With 60% of their army dead in 1 second, we hit Eltharion with the old Expelliarmus and won the battle. Overall, everything was looking good. Ikit's army was getting better and better, our 4th army was adding doom wheels, and we conquered Bretonnia. But as much as things were going our way, we had one final threat to worry about, because rapidly approaching was the endgame crisis.
Oh,
In
no.
Immortal Empires, there are 5 different endgame crises to choose from. A Tomb King's Crusade, Dwarf Invasion, Orc Wa, Wood Elf War, and
The dwarf invasion has gotta be the worst one, I think, because they just seem like the most OP creatures or factions, whatever you want to call it, in Total Warhammer 3.
Vampire Apocalypse, and we'd picked all 5, with 200% difficulty. And at this point, we only had 10 turns to prepare. We had alliances with the Vampire Counts, Demons
Blood.
of Chaos, and weren't totally hated by Malekith, so good enough. In line with stalling, I reinforced our garrisons and finished this horror of an army, which was on a wild goose chase against a random High Elf army. But they weren't alone, because our entire northern land was being invaded. With the endgame crisis now only 5 turns away, I decided
no.
to demolish the buildings for money and leave the settlements.
Hell
the
yeah.
goal was to try and
just like dip out.
defend our core provinces so we weren't stretched too thin. A little bit of preparation later, we were on our final remaining turn. Now before I show you what the ultimate crisis looks like, here's everyone we were at war with before I ended the turn. Here it is now.
No! Oh my god! That is crazy. How are you gonna go through the endgame crisis when you're at war with literally the world?
Vampire Counts invasion.
Vampire Ascension! Oh god.
Check. Orc Wa. Yep. Dwarves and elves. Just a few. Oh, and Tomb Kings. How could I forget? In a matter of one turn, about 200 armies appeared out of thin air all around the world.
Oh my fucking god, 200?
To make matters worse,
I don't know how he's gonna get through this. He's about to like pull something to get through it.
goodbye, Athel Lauren. I'll see you in therapy. Oh, and remember Grom? This is him now. Something I didn't realize would happen was that the crisis automatically broke every treaty we had with Grom and Vlad. And the game acted as if we had broken them, so my reliability became 0. Now, while most places were essentially immediately overrun, our core provinces were safe. But given our proximity to both Athel Lauren and Mausilian, that didn't mean much. In terms of strength rank, we dropped to 28.
Damn, very low. That's not good.
Don't worry, we're only at war with 1 through 27. We retreated back into our territory, stole Grom's capital for money, and watched Athel Lauren descend into chaos. On the bright side, all this time, we've been peaceful with the Empire, so as long as we didn't do something stupid.
Oh no, what just happened?
Right.
Oh my god, did they just like set a nuke off or something? What happened?
I forgot I built that. Luckily, I don't think they noticed.
Wait,
Anyways, back to defending, I put armies on the bridges leading to our core lands. The Doomwheel squad got caught by 2 much larger Vampire Count's armies, so we blobbed up our units and advanced with our Rattling guns. But the Vampire army was way too large. Most of their monsters are designed to kill large units, so our front and back line were quickly overwhelmed. In summary, we got clowned. That left us with 3 other armies to defend the front line, so it could picked up the slack. With 5 Plague Priests, we could summon non-stop clan rats to block attackers, and making friendly fire even more acceptable. After winning the battle, Ikit fought another Wood Elf army. Using the same formula, we kited with the Plague Priests until the whole army had been finished off. But while Ikit was a powerhouse, he was also our solo carry, because our other armies got caught again by the Vampire Counts. Both armies were mostly fodder with a diverse combination of rats, undead pirates, and chaos warriors. Remember,
sounds like a fucking party to me.
all people are equally worthless. We lined up near the corner to wait for our reinforcements and use our mortars. But because our first army had no Rattling guns, they advanced across the field and broke our lines. Given their infantry are undead samurai and ours are that, it was no surprise we broke. Vargulfs and Crypt Horrors just ran over our infantry because we had nothing to stop them. By the end, we'd inflicted damage, but ultimately lost the battle and 2 of our 3 armies. That meant it was just Ikit against everyone. Simultaneously, our economy was losing ground, more armies were pouring in from the north, and the Tomb Kings were sailing up from the south. My list of at-war factions looked like a barcode. There was no chance we'd live much longer. So what could we do? Well, I mean, we could give up. As they say, it's about the journey and not the destination. Of course, whoever—
Literally me, if this happened to me, I'd be like, you know what? We had a good run. Let's just call it.
Whoever said that is clearly never driven to a Chick-fil-A on a Sunday. Locked door? No, I have the key. For a short campaign victory, we need to eliminate these 3 factions, which we've done, ruin 30 different settlements, also done, and level up the Forbidden Workshop to rank 3. For that, we just need a level 15 Warlock Engineer. And wouldn't you know, we had a level 13, which means we just needed one more battle, one grand and courageous conflict that would solidify our win. But who would we fight? Our arch enemy Durthu, or maybe the Red Duke and Mausilian? High elves, dwarves, Tomb Kings, the world was our oyster. So to finish the game, I did the only thing any honorable Skaven would do.
My scurvy crew tell me you come to offer things, rodent man.
Sure, in a way.
Yep. Oh, he's fucking him up. Oh my god.
At last, by defending ourselves from Sartosa, we've achieved a short campaign victory. Now we can get started on the long campaign victory. And
that wasn't the long campaign victory? What?
No.
Thanks so much for watching. If you like this video, please give me a like, comment, and subscribe to help feed the algorithm gods. And if you like this video, you might like this one too.